Good morning everyone and welcome to our special budget meeting. Apologies, leaves of absence. No apologies. Thank you. Could I ask everyone to stand please for the acknowledgement? I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land we are meeting on and pay respect to their elders both past, present and emerging. Thank you. Item 4, are there any declarations of MPIs or conflicts of interest by councillors or senior officers? No, thank you. Organisational services, item 5.1, adoption of the 2020-2021 budget and operational plan. Could I ask a councillor to move that we receive the report and open it for discussion? Councillor Cardew and Councillor Hodge. Those in favour? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tablelands Regional Council budget of 2020-2021 is an important first step on a new pathway for the next 4 years. It's a reflection of a largely new council installed as a result of the March local government elections. Clear messages from the community at the election were that the new council should exercise financial and operational restraint, should focus on critical infrastructure and community, and drive a can-do approach across the organisation. Of course, as a single mechanism, the budget alone can't deliver all things, but it does set parameters and the tone for the year ahead. This council has fully utilised the Local Government Act provision that allows councils to deliver the budget at the end of July. By taking longer to bed down a financial blueprint, council has been able to better reflect its intentions and show that a reset of priorities is underway. Prior to completion of the audit for the 2019-2020 year, our best advice is that council will likely face a deficit of approximately $3.5 million. Against that, today's $60.4 million blueprint outlines both a balanced budget and a freeze of the general rate. This is intended to be achieved with a minimalist reduction in services. It has not been easy to deliver such a budget, but council was determined to deal with community hardship and in particular the issue of rates affordability. Further, the ongoing presence of COVID-19 has added uncertainty across the entire community, and this will continue for some time. The freeze on the general rate across all categories attends to these issues. And by combining a general rate freeze with balancing the budget, council has effectively hit a reset button for the organisation. Revenue is pulled up while the organisation now has to exercise greater operational restraint to avoid cost blowouts. This will be a challenge, but will bring greater rigour and prudence to the commitments and investments that council makes. Alongside these clear budgetary parameters, council is currently undertaking an organisational review. The review is a critical examination of the organisational structure, services, service levels, policies and processes, of work culture and performance, with the aim of improving customer service. When combined, the budget and the review should underpin an organisation that's more fit for purpose, more aligned with community, and more attuned to a "we are here to help" mantra. Now, there will be some necessary increases in charges, especially with water access, where council is behind in its savings. Water access will increase $31 per year, and there are smaller increases in waste of $16 a year and sewerage of $23 a year. Water consumption will go up 16 cents per kilolitre, which will ensure adequate maintenance and building of reserves. These changes reflect the legislative requirement on councils to apply full cost recovery for our utilities. Notwithstanding the prudence within rates and charges, council today has also adopted a capital works budget component of $29.6 million. This is an ambitious program. However, council is committed to drive the economy in those areas that it can. Some highlights of the capital works program are: roads, $18 million, inclusive of upgrades, resheets, reseals, other renewals, bridges and culverts, etc. Water, $6.1 million, inclusive of $4.7 million for the Ravenshoe Integrated Water Supply Scheme. Rehabilitation of assets, $1 million for buildings, cemeteries, etc. Further, within the operational budget there are the following commitments: water, $9.1 million, roads, $8.9 million, waste, $8 million, wastewater, $5.3 million, parks, $4 million. This budget does have a focus on local roads, where demand for improvement is never ending. As part of that focus, council is making a significant investment of $6.6 million in road upgrades. This allocation will allow for sealing of all the roads within Walkerman, as well as targeted sealing works on a selection of other local roads. This is long overdue. Finally, I would like to thank and commend all councillors for their collegiate efforts in creating this very first budget of the new council. It clearly sets a new direction and tone. And it is true that we've commenced a hard look into the future financial sustainability of the organisation. However, it's also true that we've made budget decisions that responsibly deal with the here and now, that deal with the ball that's in front of us, and that attend to our community. I would also like to acknowledge the efforts of council officers who have worked hard to pull this new direction together in a short time. It is greatly appreciated. I present the Tablelands Regional Council Budget 2020-2021. I'll give councillors the opportunity to say some words. I'll go to Councillor Cardew first, and then I'll go to Councillor Wilts, and we'll go down the line.
Thanks, Mayor Rudd. Yes, it has been a tough budget to put together, and I particularly want to thank our councillors, all our councillors, and also our staff who have worked hard to put this budget together, considering that we didn't want any increase in the general rate, and we wanted a balanced budget. Also acknowledge that we are going to have to live within our means, and that's going to mean that we're going to have to make some really hard decisions in the coming months and years to follow, and we really need to get back to basics and serve our community to the best of our ability. Thank you, Rob.
Councillor Wills.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning all. This is going to get harder as it goes down the table, of course, but it has been a challenge putting the budget together, especially from a total non-financial background. It's been an enjoyable challenge. Totally appreciate the work that has been done from the executive staff Nothing's been too much trouble for them to break it down to a degree that was understandable and totally comprehensible. And great work done by our fellow councillors and the leadership of the Mayor. As Kev said, we've got some challenges ahead. We've had to pull it right back, and it is a challenge for some of the management staff, but if we all continue on the path that we've chosen, I have no doubt that we'll come in pretty strong at the end of the year. Thank you.
Councillor Hodge.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Look, yeah, I echo all those words. This is probably the first balance or operating balance that we've had, TRC's probably had in, I don't know, probably 6 to 7 years. So it's a very responsible budget. As the Mayor said, there's no increase in the general rate, and we've come up with a 29.6 capital spend. Just like to echo the other words, thank you to the staff, thank you to all the councillors. It's been a pretty tough job. When we first came in here, where a recommendation was, as the Mayor said, 2.8 million deficit to bring it back to a balanced budget. So I'd like to thank everyone concerned. And the last thing I need to say is, councillors, we really need to bring it home now. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Councillor Clifton.
Thanks, Mayor. New at the local government game, I've been really have been astounded by the efforts that staff have put into supporting us in our decision making. I think the essence of this budget is that it is trying very, very hard to be responsive to the community. Not to the organisation itself, but to the community. The rises that the community is going to have to endure are relatively small and reflect inescapable conclusions in terms of waste, water and sewage. The general rates, as the Mayor said, are frozen. I think hopefully you'll notice that not only is the financial circumstances that you're confronting with as community members, not only do they change, but also that people like me are really responsive to you. I've been honoured to be elected and to be able to take part in this, and I thank everyone for it.
Thank you. Councillor Billney.
Through the Mayor, I would like to acknowledge the substantial scope of work and effort put into this budget by TRC officers. They were given the instruction by this council to achieve a balanced budget, which on paper has been achieved. The real challenge now and over the next 12 months is to ensure we continually monitor and manage our finances prudently and that we actually achieve a balanced budget. I look forward to working with councillors and officers in the ensuing fiscal period.
Thank you. Councillor Hayden.
Would have spoken the wheels. I urge my fellow councillors to use this budget of 2020-2021 as a line in the sand to stop looking backwards and instead firmly focus our attention on the job at hand. And whilst praising ourselves for being jolly good fellows in getting a balanced budget, be honest and know that some of our glory lies at the feet of the hard work done by the previous council. We are living in an era of great change and new challenges are presenting themselves daily. We are caretakers of this amazing and diversified part of the world. This council has hit the ground running and embraced working as a team to ensure we deliver the best outcomes for the future of our region. The magnitude of managing the expectations and requirements of a diverse council as ours is never more evident than during council's budget considerations. I acknowledge the terrific work of our dedicated council staff, especially the Finance Department, who have helped us finalise this documentation of the 2020 and 2021 budget and operational plan. Lastly, I thank my fellow councillors for the active discussions on all areas we have covered and come to a final decision for the common good of the region.
Thank you. Councillors, I'd like to move the adoption of the 2020 2021 budget and operational plan. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Cardew. Those in favour? Carried. Thank you. As that's the only matter of business today, councillors, that's the end of our meeting. Thank you very much, and I congratulate you all again on everything that you've done to get this budget delivered as it is today. And our next meeting, our August meeting, is actually in Herberton. Is that right? Yes. Yes. So our August meeting is in Herberton. So that's the next meeting. But I'll close the meeting now, and that's it. The meeting closed. Thank you.
We got behind you.
Yeah, clean half it out.